I love crowd-pleasing scents. Ginger candies. If you grew up in a Caribbean household, girl, you already know what I'm talking about. But caramel, milky, honey cloud. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Lex, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, I will be sharing with y'all my top 10 for life fragrances. I'm super excited to share this video with you guys because a few of y'all have actually asked me this in the comments, scents that I would consider to be my signature scents. I really wanted to make sure I was talking about scents that I'm super familiar with, that I had gone through multiples of, and that I will continue to repurchase into the years. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we do that, please make sure you are subscribed and do not forget to like and leave a comment before you leave today's video. First scent on this list, y'all, is definitely one that represents my fragrance taste. That is going to be Burberry Her Elixir. This basically takes out that same strawberry that's in Burberry Her and makes it more creamy, lactonic, a little bit more gourmand with a very woody dry down. This has jasmine in it. There are some berries, some sandalwood, and of course the strawberry, which is the star of the show here, but I just feel that this is a perfectly balanced scent. This is basically just a very sugary, sweet strawberry, and then you get a very sexy, kind of sultry and seductive jasmine mixed with that sandalwood in the dry down. There's something in here that just adds a sexy creaminess to this, even though this is definitely more of a woody fragrance. I feel like the sandalwood is done in more of a creamy way. It just makes it work so beautifully. And this is definitely hands down one of my favorite ever fruity fragrances. It's super feminine. This is super warm and cozy. I really like to wear this in the fall and the winter as a going out scent, or something that I would wear hanging out with my friends if I was going on a date or something like that. This just reminds me of when the seasons are starting to change and you want something that's perfectly in between. You want something a little bit fruity, a little bit gourmand, a little woody. And that's the vibe that this gives me. Super, super feminine and flirty, and I just love this one. Now, speaking of lactonic scents, which you guys will see is clearly a theme in the type of scents that I enjoy, the next one on this list is none other than Giardini di Toscana's Bianco Latte. When this fragrance first released, I was completely in love with this scent. And I still love this scent to this day, you guys, even though I own multiple dupes of this scent, which I will have those linked in the description box, because honestly, I do still feel that they are a better value. The original, I still feel has so many rich, dense layers in it. It's beast mode and extremely long lasting that if you do spend the money on this, it is 100% worth it, y'all. This is hands down one of my most complimented fragrances ever to date. This truly really wraps you and envelops you in this caramel, milky, honey cloud. It has the richest, thickest dry down, y'all. This lasts forever. Like when I spray this on my clothes, I literally can smell it for days afterwards. This is straight up gourmand, okay? There's nothing floral or fresh about this. This is straight up edible, milky honey and caramel sweetness. And the tonka bean that's in here just adds some depth and some weight to this scent overall. When I say this is truly something I would classify as a winter fragrance, it 100% is. And this is definitely a scent that smells like me. This next fragrance is 100% a spring and summer staple for me. I have gone through a bottle of it, and I just recently re-upped on a large big boy bottle, Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. I love this fragrance, y'all. I love all of these fragrances, but something about this just makes me happy. It just brings me joy. It just makes me want to be outside in the warm weather, having brunch, having drinks, whatever, and just enjoying life. Like, it's super feminine, a little fresh, very, very fruity. This opens up with a burst of just this mouth-watering sweet peach. It truly smells like you just bit into the most ripest peach that's just sweet. You've got the juice dripping down your mouth. That is what it smells like. And you also get something a little green, almost as if it's like the leaves of the peach as well, or like the peach skin, which I can really appreciate because it keeps this from being too sweet. And then finally, you get a heavy dose of vanilla, especially as it dries down, where you have just enough of a green note that gives this fragrance a hint of freshness, but still keeps it very sweet. It's almost like a peach syrup or a peach liqueur in a way. It just smells so good, so syrupy sweet. Another one that is highly complimented, and this is hands down my fave when it is sunny outside and bright. I'm probably gonna put this on my perfume tray for the month of March because this is definitely one of those spring scents that I reach for all the time. Now, this next scent I absolutely could not do this video without because it is a staple in my routine. So much so, year round, I would say, so much so that I had to get the largest size bottle when I re-upped. Kayali's Vanilla 28. I really feel like Vanilla 28 is the scent that puts Kayali on the map. While this is a vanilla fragrance, this is a rich, thick, dense vanilla that I feel works with so many things. This is the base of a lot of other Kayali fragrances in some form or fashion, where it has this kind of oriental vanilla. You get something a little spicy. There's some brown sugar in there, as well as some florals. But overall, this is still a very sexy, seductive vanilla fragrance. You are looking for something that's going to bring the men to the yard. This is definitely that scent. Like, Vanilla 28 is absolutely in my top 3 most complimented scents from the opposite sex. Like, if that is something important to you when you are shopping for fragrances, girl, and you don't have this in your collection, definitely recommend checking this out. But this is such a staple for me year round because I feel like it's not too heavy or thick or dense to be worn in the spring and summer. Like, I feel like the fact that it has so many other layers in it makes it perfect to wear across all of the seasons, but it also has enough weight to withstand the colder months, the fall, the winter months, and layer up with other things and still make it smell sweet and sexy at the same time. So love Vanilla 28. She will forever be a repurchase for me. And yeah, if y'all have not tried this one, I definitely recommend checking it out. I feel like I should have categorized these by season at this point, but this one, hands down, if y'all have been watching my channel for long enough, y'all know this is like my summer staple fragrance. And it's just hands down my girl. I literally smile thinking about this scent because it just makes me happy. Mugler's Alien Goddess. This is my baby, okay? This is my girl. Some people will call this basic and I don't care, which, by the way, I feel like most of the scents that I like, y'all, are very basic. Personally, would not consider myself to be a niche fragrance girly. Like, there are a couple of niche fragrances on this list, but for the most part, I love a scent that is just likable. I love crowd pleasing scents. I just prefer things that smell good that everybody likes. Like, I'm sorry, but needless to say, Alien Goddess, she is not super unique. I would definitely say this fragrance DNA, this coconut, white floral, vanilla combo is definitely not anything groundbreaking or earth shattering, but I will say this is the best done version in my opinion. So if you are someone who is a fan of like Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, for example, I find that one to just be slightly screechy and suntan lotiony at times. This, I feel like, balances the white florals, the coconut, the bergamot, and the vanilla perfectly to where, matter of fact, we're gonna wear her today. Ooh, oh my God, this just brings me joy. Like, every time I wear this, it just feels sunny, it feels uplifting, it makes you want to be on a tropical vacation. It opens up with a very rich coconut water. Like, think you are literally drinking coconut water straight out of a coconut. That is what I smell, mixed with a little bergamot, so you're getting kind of this zingy factor at the opening. But then you get the jasmine and the vanilla, and it just makes the most beautiful combo to where it just smells like a perfume, but it smells like a summer perfume in my opinion. So this one is hands down one that I have gone through multiple bottles of. I actually have the refillable bottle now so that I can just buy the refill. So I just refill this one and I don't have to buy another bottle. But needless to say, this is a staple in my collection. I put so many people onto this scent because I get complimented by both men and women wearing this scent. So much so that my mom, who does not even share the same fragrance taste as me necessarily, she fell in love with this one and had to purchase it herself. So love this one down. The Intense, not as much. I feel like that one goes a little bit more heavy in the jasmine direction. I really like this one because it just feels more youthful, more fun, more bright. This one is definitely a fave. Now, speaking of scents that are uplifting and bring me joy, I feel like a lot of citrus scents just do that naturally, honestly, but it has just been a go-to for me, so much so that I have already gone through a full 100 ml bottle and purchased another 100 ml bottle, Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion. This is another one of those scents that I feel like is just me in a bottle because it just feels like me when I wear this. Now, some of the girlies don't like this because of the citrus and the vanilla combo to where it's more of a citrus gourmand, but those are honestly my favorite. One of my top favorite scent profiles. I love a candied citrus, vanilla, marshmallow, whatever. I love a candied citrus mix because it is sweet without being too sweet. I feel like it's almost like when you have a dessert and you sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on top, it just makes the dessert pop. That is how I feel about citrus gourmand fragrances. So Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion, you get that candied lemon in the opening, but then the extra layers in here just makes this so good. So the rum in here, the panna cotta, the marshmallow, the vanilla, like all of these notes together just add such cute, unique little elements and just make this perfume smell whimsical in a way, and I just love wearing this. This is another one I wear year round depending on what note I'm trying to bring out. I feel like in the hot weather, in the warm weather, obviously I'm getting more of the citrus. In the cooler months like the fall and the winter, I definitely get more of that boozy note and that panna cotta, that richness from the panna cotta. So I love playing around with this one, layering with this one. Like I've done countless layering videos with this fragrance at this point, and this is just hands down one of my favorites. And the bottle itself, girl, the bottle is just absolutely gorgeous. So Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion, she will forever be in my collection. I do think though, the next time I go through this, I am going to sample the Intense, because I tried it in store a couple of months ago and I feel like I like that one a little bit better. So hopefully this lasts me through the spring and the summer, so that by the time fall hits this year, I can go ahead and try out the full size of the Intense. But yeah, this is my girl and I love her down. Speaking of lemon gourmands, y'all, of course, this is the one that started it all for me. This is actually the very first niche fragrance that I ever purchased. This is really when my fragrance addiction started. So this one, hands down, is definitely an OG to my collection and will always be in my collection. Xerjoff's Lyra. This, I feel like, is the fragrance that set the precedent for all of these lemon gourmand scents that we're seeing right now, because, oh, y'all, this is just so freaking good. This has always been compared to a lemon pound cake in the fragrance community, and I can 100% agree with that. But I do feel like this has so many other rich layers that are just not talked about enough. So this is kind of a fragrance that is associated with lemon for the most part. I personally feel like you get way more of that rich, juicy blood orange in the opening. And then you start to get the caramel, all of the spices that are in here. And then, of course, the vanilla and everything else that grounds this fragrance and gives it the depth. But y'all, this is a rich, sexy scent for me. And of course, it smells edible. But I also feel like this has a lot of the same elements that Vanilla 28 has, to where it has a sweet spice to it. So I often like to wear the two together. Y'all have never worn these two fragrances together, please do me a favor and try that. Like, this is a combo that I did a couple of years ago, and it's like one of my favorite ones to wear. Or even Vanilla 28 with Devotion, like hands down one of my faves. This just makes me feel alluring and sexy and all of the things. And whereas Devotion would be like my daytime scent, this is definitely the nighttime sexy version that I'm wearing to go out, that I want to wear to turn some heads if I'm wearing something super sexy. This is absolutely for my gourmand lovers, but I do feel like it has enough spices and other layers that it's not just straight up a foodie scent, but it is very, very sweet. So if you do not like your sweet scents, this is probably one you want to skip. But regardless, I always recommend getting a sample of any niche fragrance. Don't go spending all your coins on something you might not like, girl. So make sure you get a sample. But if you love the same type of scent DNA as I do, you would definitely love Lyra. The next two, I'm going to count as one, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I just feel like I wear both of these so often and so regularly, and discovered both of them at the same time when I discovered the brand, that I had to just mention them together. So we're jumping into the house of Commodity and my two go-to fragrances, which are Commodity Gold Expressive and Commodity Milk Expressive. I wear both of these equally, okay? Hands down, I wear both of these equally. Gold is definitely more of my everyday vanilla. This is such an easy everyday wear for me. I find myself wearing this when I don't know what else to wear. If I really don't want to be offensive, if I don't want my scent to be causing a scene, if I'm doing something important, like this is just one of those scents I can sprinkle on top of everything like salt. So if you love those kind of green woody vanillas that lean in almost in the fresh category, this is definitely 100% unisex, I would say. But this also has kind of a cloud-like powdery vibe. Like, I know marshmallow is not a note in here, but it really does smell like there's the slightest sprinkle of marshmallow in here. And then I believe there's juniper as well as some amber and some musk. So a fresh, woody, slightly musky vanilla that just makes this easy to wear across the board. And while this isn't anything super sexy or knocks you out of the park, slaps you in your face, sometimes I'm just in the mood for stuff like this. And more times than not, I reach for this all the time. So that is why this one will always be a staple in my collection. And of course, Milk, which I think is the very first scent from Commodity that I just fell in love with. And this one definitely has marshmallow in it. So the stars of the show in this scent to me are 100% the milk, the marshmallow, and the tonka. The tonka really gives this a spicy effect, in my opinion. Like, this just smells like sweetened horchata or sweetened marshmallows and cream. Like, that is what this smells like. And it just smells so cozy and comforting. Now, this is definitely one that I would not say is year round, at least for me. I really only reach for this one when it is cooler or colder outside, just because this is something that I really feel like cocoons and envelops me and just makes me want to cozy up by a fire or go out to like a campfire or something like that. Like, this just puts me in the mindset of fall and winter fragrances. So I don't usually reach for this one once the spring and summer hit, but this is hands down one of my signature scents in the fall and winter. And just like gold, I have already finished a full-size bottle of, so this is my second one, and I just love this scent. We are winding down, and I almost did not include this one because while I have not repurchased this actual fragrance, I do currently have a dupe of the fragrance that 100% fills the cravings. I, of course, will have the dupe linked as well, but for this video, I did not want to talk about dupes. I really wanted to talk about the original scents that I feel represent me and what I have worn throughout the years. So I cannot do this video without this scent, and that is Mancera's Roses Vanille. If y'all have been watching me, y'all know how I feel about this scent. This is 100% a signature scent of mine. This is one of the first fragrances that made me realize rose is not so bad, okay? Because I used to very much be a straight up gourmand girly. I don't want nothing else. I don't want nothing woody. I don't want nothing with florals. Like, that used to be me until I came across Roses Vanille. And y'all, this fragrance introduced me to a scent profile that I now love, which is roses and vanilla together. That I feel like is such a perfect feminine combo that just makes you feel like a woman. It makes you feel pretty. It makes you feel beautiful. It makes you feel girly and just embody your feminine energy. And I feel that way about Roses Vanille. It opens up a little sharp and screechy. I'm not gonna lie. There is some lemon in the opening. So the lemon and the rose can be slightly much in the opening, but it really does not last long. And what you are left with is a soft, delicate rose with a creamy, sweet vanilla. Oh my God. This scent just smells so good, y'all. I will always repurchase or always have something in my collection that smells like this because this is definitely a scent profile that I reach for if I really want to, again, feel like I'm in my soft girl energy and feel super feminine and sweet. And I just love this one. So the Middle Eastern dupe I just recently talked about in my top Middle Eastern fragrances of all time video. So if you did not see that, I will link it up top. But I love that one a little bit more because it has the addition of caramel in it. And I feel like it tones down the lemon a bit. I don't know if I'm going to repurchase this anytime soon because of that. But needless to say, since this is the fragrance that perfume is inspired by, I wanted to go ahead and include it in this video because this is something that I have to have in my collection. And the last one to my collection, you guys, that I feel like is one of my signatures that I will always have to have in my collection, Burberry Goddess, y'all. As you can see, this bottle is empty, but again, just like Roses Vanille, I have a dupe in my collection that is really satisfying my craving for this scent for a quarter of the price, and that I feel like is a little bit better done, which is Lattafa's Engam. But needless to say, I have to pay homage to the original scent that inspired that fragrance, and this scent itself is gorgeous, you guys. If you did not see my full in-depth review of that fragrance, I will have it linked up top, as well as any other reviews that I have for some of these scents. I want to say I have a full in-depth review about Devotion as well, so I will link that. But y'all, I love this scent as soon as I smelled it. I am not a lavender person, okay? This perfume has a prominent lavender note, so I was so surprised that I love this, but it is the most sugary, sweet lavender. You have ginger, you've got some cacao, and of course, all of the layers of vanilla. And I feel like I said this in my original review, but this reminds me of like those ginger candies. If you grew up in a Caribbean household, girl, you already know what I'm talking about. But those ginger candies like that you would eat when you were sick, or just ginger candy in general, that is what this smells like to me. It just has the sweetest ginger and lavender together to just give this an overall perfumey smell. Like, I know that sounds like the most nondescript thing, but if you know, certain notes together, they just smell like perfume, and that is what this smells like to me. And the cacao really just gives it the lightest dusting of something a little bit more rich to kind of mix in with the other notes, and overall just creates the most beautiful, sophisticated, layered perfume. This is one of those ones you can wear for anything, and you are going to get compliments out of the wazoo by men and women alike, y'all. I just love this one. I will never get tired of this DNA, and every time I wear it, I just, again, feel like I have my life together, and it's not sharp in any way. So beautifully layered, and this one has quickly become a favorite of mine. All right, you guys, that is it for my top 10 for life perfumes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If any of these are your favorites, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you guys could pick one perfume in your collection to represent you and your fragrance taste, let me know what that will be in the comments below, because I'm super curious, because honestly, I could not pick just one of these. So I'm curious to see what y'all's signature scents are. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.